Winds. Thursday, sunny. Highs in the lower 70s. Light winds. Thursday night.
Alright, welcome back to SOS. I'm Steph Sound Badass. I figured today I would reintroduce myself. I know it's been a while. It's been, a year, I think, since I did that video. So, I'm at like 600 videos now. It's ridiculous. Okay. Well, how did Step 1 Survival get started? Kind of its origin, what started it. I know a lot of people haven't watched some of my older videos, and they go back pretty far. I know a lot of you haven't watched them because they're like, 100 views or something like that. They're pretty old. I mean, they're not going to get found too often. They're like people in blog type stuff, and that's kind of how I got started. I was doing people in blog, trying to find out my way and things like that. Now, when I was in the military, I've got my lights and everything turned off today. I don't know if you noticed any of that. It's kind of unusual back here. But when I got started making videos, I was in the Marine Corps at the time. I was doing reloading videos, reloading all different types of calibers, thousands of rounds of ammunition left and right. And wasn't much of a community. No one really talked to me other than would ask me a question about reloading something. And that was about it. The channel doesn't exist anymore, so for those of you that wanted to know about that, looking it up. You got to stay true to yourself. You know, I thought making this video today for a lot of people would probably explain a lot. You know, I thought it would help. You know, it has a purpose. This video has a purpose. It would explain a lot about the channel, myself, things like that, and it would help. And so the reintroduction will begin. While I was in the Marine Corps, I had several injuries, you know, here and there, and some didn't bother me so bad. I had surgeries for things like that. I kept trucking, and I had a spinal cord injury. I lost the feeling in my legs, and I got drugged to the sick bay, sick call or whatever. They took a look at me, and come to find out I had scoliosis. I never knew I had. I had passed all my back exams, but that had caused, from all the heavy lifting and major amounts of running, you got these 3 mile adventures from 3 miles, 5 miles, or more, things like that. All this running all the time, all the other strenuous activities that would take place led to a slip disc. I was getting some shocks. I had some nerve damage stuff going on. I was getting shocks running through my legs, through my abdominal area, all sorts of places. Previously, I already had TBI. The constant ringing. It's still ringing right freaking now. It drives me nuts. I never can stop hearing it. And I still visit the VA for that one. There's really nothing that they can do and give me stuff to help me sleep, and it's really hard. I'll wake up at 2 a.m. sometimes, and I couldn't sleep. Sometimes a box fan helps. I keep a box fan going. That usually helps tune that out for all of you dealing with stuff like that. But I digress. I'm rambling. But the thing was, I had to have an outlet. Excuse me. I had to have an outlet. And leaving the Marine Corps, I went through that whole thing, and I was so used to being around so many Marines every single day, and having to deal with their problems and fixing things for people and stuff like that. It was always occupying me. It was always taking my time, and I was always doing something. And I spent a lot of my life deployed. All of my life. Well, there in the Marines, it was a lot of time deployed. I had a short period of time where I was grounded. I actually got to take a break from all that, but debts, deployments, all that stuff, your detachments, all that stuff. It was always busy. I was always drug into something, and it was all. I sometimes um, it's like, where's the other guy at? Sometimes I'd have that feeling, which I think most Marines feel that way. Where's the other guys? Why do they always pick me? You always felt like that. I think everybody feels that way. Where's the other dude at? Where's Billy? Why can't he do this? So I was used to that every single day, and then this all happened, and I was living the dream. It was what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a Marine so bad. I wanted to live that life so bad. I wanted to stay doing it, forever, but I couldn't, and unfortunately, I couldn't. And a lot of people tell me that their kids are going to join the Marines and that they're going to be a Marine and all this stuff, and I try not to. I try not to crush hopes and dreams. I tell them, hey, make sure you just pray for them and look after them. You know, hang on a second. Sorry about that. I had to get my water. Okay, where was I? So I was used to this life, all right? Strenuous, crazy life of time suckers and all that other stuff. Time sucker is someone who approaches you and tells you their whole life story. I'm a time sucker. I'm sucking the time right out of you. But they come up to you and they tell you their whole life story or whatever, or something you don't really want to, but you listen because you got a big heart and you listen to them. It's one of those things. You do it too. You do. You listen to me, so I know you do it. I do it. I listen to everybody else. I read everybody else's comments, right? I call that time sucking. It's time sucking. Sarcastic, funny way. It's personal. I didn't want to tell you that. I just wanted to keep that to myself. But let's scratch that one off the list. There we go. You can use that if you want. So I had this life and really busy, and I wanted to keep myself occupied, and then it stopped. It was gone. Next thing you know, I'm on the road in a Penske truck going into another world. Had a wife following me in another vehicle, and I had a dog in my lap, and she had 2 kids in the car with her. So we were going off into another world, a world that we didn't know too well. There's so many things that I want to say. You know what I mean? There's so many things. The people that are getting out of the military and life like that, facing another life, right? Things that I do. That's another thing that I wanted to mention. I pray a lot, and we go to church on Sundays. We pray at the dinner table. I'm reintroducing myself. There's a lot of people will message me and say, could you just stop talking about stuff like that while you're making videos? Why do you have to say God bless at the end and all this stuff? Well, I don't want you around if you're going to talk to me that way. If you said weird stuff to me that it's just out of your vocabulary, I'm not going to sit there and go, dude, we can't be friends. I don't want to talk to you anymore. That's not me as a human being. That's not what I treat everybody like I want to be treated. I give everybody the same respect. I don't care what you are, who you are, where you been. You're a human. I treat all of you like human. You're a human first. That's how I was in the Marine Corps. Everyone's just a human. They're all a bunch of humans. I got faced with a problem. It's usually between me and another human, and I dealt with it that way. That's the way it is. But yes, I stay very grounded. When we pray, we kneel at the bedside. We feel that brings us closer. Feel that you should be on your knees when you pray. My kids pray. They interrupt us at the dinner table so that they can say the blessing. It's just weird stuff that we do. But Not going to go down the rabbit hole too far into that. It's an introduction. This is just what I think is necessary. Now, does it help? It does, but I still felt lost when I got up at 3:30 in the morning every day. My brain was still set. At 3:30 in the morning every day, I was getting up. I was getting ready like I was going to go to work or something. Finding a job, working around civilians. I don't have anything to do. I get comments all the time where people will say, "Hey, don't you think you act like you show favoritism towards people that were in the service?" Well, it's a different kind of favoritism, and I have an oath, buddy. I have an oath, pal. I'm still a keeper of my oath, and I swore to protect people, and I still will. It has nothing to do with that. I don't show any kind of favoritism towards service members. We just have a different relationship. We've all at some point stood in line somewhere. All the sailors are like, "You said standing in line. The smoking lamp is lit." There's just people, we have something in common. There's a different type of common ground. It's a brotherness, sisterness. It's just a different relationship. That's when I talk about those things. That's what I mean by that. It's not saying that, oh, you're lesser of a person because blah, blah, blah. Nobody ever said that. You're just putting your own words together then, at that point. I never can say anything like that. There's too many people out there that do too many awesome things. But yeah, people say some weird things to me. Billy walks in the room at any given moment, and Billy is a fictional character that I made up while I was in the military, and everyone else said it too. And I think everyone has their own Billies while they were in the service. And Billy walks in the room. Billy could walk in the room at any moment and just start commenting. You know what I mean? He just walks in. "Hi, Staff Sergeant Badass. Did you know that there's more than one? Did you know that there's no knife? Oh no, what was it? There's no knife laws in Tennessee." That was it. There is. There actually is. And someone's gonna say something. Yeah, they are. They're gonna say something. You got to look at all the other knife. I'm doing a knife law video for Tennessee. Yeah, I'm gonna help people try to understand this. I know it's hard when there's one law that says that anything goes. When there's other ones, you got to look at all the other ones. It's not just one thing. Just about all of them. No, because there's others on the books that actually make those null and void. That's the reason why I'm saying that. Don't get yourself in trouble. Did you know life straws go bad? I proved that wrong. Oh, but that's I like doing that stuff. You know what I mean? So I get here, waking up at 3 in the morning, every day, and I kept looking at my hands like I needed to do something. I was trying to figure out what to do with my life. I had some breakdown moments in front of the wife. The wife kept threatening to call and make an appointment with the VA. She won. She called and made an appointment, and I went, and they took me to the to the lower levels, if you know what I mean. The lower levels where they actually, I get to meet with I gotten to meet with this, I think she's like 18. She's trying to tell me how to live my life. I'm like, dude, come on. What are you going to tell me? What did you like to do? Well, I liked making videos. That's what you should do again. You should go back to doing that. So I got to thinking this was my SOS. This was my, SOS. SOS. The ship is sinking. What am I going to do? I can't tell other people how to deal with this stuff because it's really hard readjusting into the civilian world. It is. It's not an easy task, and but getting on here, and then I started making these blogs. I guess like people in blogs. It wasn't the best starting off, when I was doing this, but apparently I a lot of people felt affected by words coming out of my mouth, and I felt humbled when I started receiving emails. I I didn't know it was going to get to that point. I started getting emails from other veterans, and even got emails from, I didn't know how to respond to a lot of them because they were serious, they were deep, and I didn't know what to do. But I I have a good wife, and I always go back to my wife and, what do you think I should say? And I said, well, you should probably say this. They just poured their heart out to you. You should probably say something. So it was hard. It was really hard doing that. Another thing was, helping other vets that would email me about, I'm trying to do some VA stuff, and I'm trying to do this paperwork. It's really hard. I don't know what to do. I know you've been through this stuff, and can I get your help on this? Sure. I didn't know I was going to get tasked into that realm either. But it was an outlet. It became an outlet. And actually, the lady at the VA was right. I should have done this. I should have done this the day I got out. Started making videos, making a community, making friends, not being a shut-in. Don't be like that. It's hard. It's hard. People deal with a lot of images that they're not used to. People deal with things that they're not used to, all the time. It's kind of like the guy, this other Billy that walks in the room. I know this other channel. He's just bushcraft all the way, and he stays outside all day long, making fires, doing things, and you stay in your garage. This is not my garage, Billy. This is my shop. Work happens here when I'm not making videos. Yes, I know where everything is. I have this weird jacked up kind of system in my brain. I just know where everything is. Everything. I know where all it is. Yeah, it's underneath 10 stacks of whatever in there. Move the drawer over to the left. That's one of those things that I have always had, that weird ability to find anything. And I think after combat deployments, multiple combat deployments, and then 36 countries, all that other trash, I think I'm good on the outdoors. I will go out there. I will do stuff and make things. You know what I mean? I'm not going to tell you I won't. I've been exposed to a lot of stuff. And for anyone who's been exposed to a lot and seen a lot, or you're the guy who has seen too much. What if you're the guy who's seen too much, right? If you've seen too much, what do? You got to have an outlet. And you've just done and seen too much. Maybe, possibly. It could be in the realm of that. I'm just saying. But I've been in situations where I don't talk about everything on the show because I don't feel I need to impress everyone. But like out in California, out in 03, I helped fight the fires out there. I'm picking people up and bringing them back, getting them out of the smoke and things like that. That was interesting. I didn't think I was going to get tasked with that. That's what happens when you're on duty that particular day. But I got tasked with that. That was interesting. They're weird situation I can relate to. It's have you ever cut someone's seatbelt, from a burning car? They're upside down. I was in that situation. Kid was in a gully. Someone pulled the stop sign up. He went, shoo. But I've been in some weird situations. I don't talk about all of them on the show. I don't need to. I don't need to impress anyone. And I don't know when Billy's going to show up. He could show up in any of my videos and be like, well, if you knew this, then you'd know that. Watch video number 570. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to tell some of these people. I can't have them. They're not going to be exposed to everything of me. But I feel like I should do a reintroduction of myself. But it's been a while since I've said anything like this. But step one survival was step one survival. Survival. Stay alive, don't die. Right? It was the SOS. That's what it all meant when I got started. This was my outlet. I was doing this for my health. This is why I did this stuff, for my health. I keep myself occupied still, and I still make the videos to keep myself occupied. This is why I do this stuff. This is why I still help in the community. I still teach young kids martial arts. I still do a lot of things. Well, one thing I don't do that didn't go so good, I wasn't good at, was being a Cub Scout leader. I wasn't good at that. That wasn't for me. I trying to explain to a kid something and then losing their attention because they're picking their nose. I couldn't do it. It was too hard. I couldn't focus. You got something. Your nose, your finger is in it. Stop doing that. Stop it. Stop doing it. It was hard. It's really hard. So I chose not to do that. But yeah, I got stuff lined up, and that's why I keep myself distracted. This is part of what I do. I keep myself distracted, and I hope that I would help someone. I hope that I thought, I could do more than that. I think that I can help someone, and I think that some of the advice that I give other people might actually save their life in an emergency scenario where they're, they bust out one of my MacGyver tricks or whatever it is that I've shown them along the way. They've learned from me or something. It's like, I know that because of this. Cool. You learned something. And it helped you. And I'm glad. Very humbling, though, having all of you support me. Those of you that stood up and say, we're with you, BA. We stand with you, BA. For those of you still standing with BA, it's very humbling, and I really appreciate it. And I love each and every one of you. I think that one of the next videos is this one here. I just wanted to say that before I turn this camera off. But it's very humbling, and I love and appreciate each and every one of you. God bless all of you, and Semper Fi. Do or die. What makes the grass grow? I'm not going to get all that. All right. You're watching SOS. I'm Staff Sergeant Badass. Have a beautiful, fantastic day. Rainbows, unicorns, sunshine, Sailor Moon, whatever. Sailor Jerry's, whichever one you prefer. Take it easy.